يجوز له أن يتيمم حتى يكتبه يعني إنهائه نظرا إلى الدليل ثم يكون مختارا مخلوا ولا يبلغ بيلا كي لا ينقطع ينقطع. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nahmadu wa nusalli ala Rasulil Kareem. Just go back to bring it into the picture. See, وليس المتيمم يطالب الماء إذا لم يغلب على ظنه أن في قرب معنى. And it is not upon the mutayammim طلب الماء to seek the water إذا لم يغلب when it is not the predominant thought is uh, close by this water. So if your mind tell you no, there's no water around here, like I don't think there's water. You can look obviously. What is mean, when will your mind tell you there's no water? When you look around, you can say, look here, this place is dry, there's nobody living here, there's no animals here, it doesn't look like there's any streams or anything here, so I don't think there can be water here. Then when your mind tells you you're predominant, and I tell you, when we speak about predominant thought, we speak about 50% or more, that there's no water, then it's not necessary to confirm. What is saying, you're not mukallaf for going to physically search for the water. Just if your mind tells you there's no water, right? Why? لأن الغالب عدم الماء في الفلوات. Because look here, generally, if you're in the countryside, there's no rivers, there's no streams, there's no wells, there's no habitation. Generally, there is no water. In other words, his predominant thought is it is supported by the general, what is the general right word? By the general conditions. What you said, conditions? Huh? Connotation then because his thought is there's no water and generally like there's no water because unless it's a river there or it's a well or it's a then obviously you'd have known, you'd have seen this life there, etc. They're saying then al-ghaliba adabul ma'i fil falawati, right? They're saying also wala dalila ala al-wujudi, and there's no proof to say that there is water. There's nothing to prove his thought wrong. His ghalib was done. There's nothing to prove his thought is wrong. One is like you have a Ghalib was done, but your Ghalib was done is unfounded. There's nothing here to say his Ghalib was done is unfounded. ولا دليل على الوجود, right? There's no proof على الوجود to say there's water. فلم يكن واجدا. So we'll say he's like, we will say he's wajid, we say he's faqid. There's a masla also, it comes faqid tuhrain. Not in Hidaayah Sharif, but if you look at the mutawalat, actually I think it comes in Mishkat also. You don't have water and you can't make tayammum. Called faqid tuhrain. So yeah, we say it's faqid. It's faqidul ma. What you say? Did you do in Mishkat the faqidul tuhra? You never do it. Like a person is locked up in a prison and there's no water and there's nothing of jinsul out to make tayammum on it. You done it? Huh? You done it usul shashiyah. So I'm just showing you the opposite of wajidul ma is faqidul ma. So the person who doesn't have access to water and a person doesn't have access to an item of tayammum is called faqidul tuhrain. So yeah, so his thought is there's no water, and the outward, the zahir, the circumstances also confirms or confirms his thought. So it's not necessary for him to go and search for water, right? But وَإِنْ غَلَبَ عَلَى ظَنِّهِ أَنَّ هُنَاكَ مَاءٌ. But when he looks around, he said, no, yeah, there must be some water, man, because there's a house there, there's a garage there, there's a shell out here, or see, there's animals there, there's birds. I can see the birds chirping there. So normally his zan will be affected by what he can see around him. You understand what I'm saying? Your zan will be because look, you a man is your akal will tell you now. Look, I think there's water around here, right? So in ghalaba ala zannihi, if it is the predominant, I'm giving you the word for word translation so you understand. Wa in ghalaba ala zanni, if it is predominant in his thought, anna hunaka, that there is ma'un lam yajuz lahu. So in his mind, if you know there is water around here, then he's not allowed to make tayammum, right? Why? Because he's not faqid, he's wajid now, right? Right. So lam yajuz lahu ayatayammam hatta yatlubahu, until he seeks the water, right? لأنه واجد للماء, because he's finding the water. نظرا, why? نظرا إلى الدليل, because he's got a dalil here. And the dalil is this here, that I think there's water around here. Are you with me? ثم يطلب مقدار الغلوة. So here, what he's saying is this here, that if a person is moving with like a caravan, etc., etc., and now in his mind it tells him there is water around here. His mind says water around here, right? So he's now his mind is telling him there's water here because obviously what his mind is telling him is influenced by what he sees. Then ثم يطلب مقدار الغلوة, he will have to seek water for up to one ghalwa. Ghalwa, yeah, I just checked it up. They say it is about 300 handspans. What is it? So you're looking at maybe like about 300 meters or something like that, right? ولا يبلغ ميلا. So you don't have to physically search. Why for a meal? You don't have to search. So remember, if you go back to the beginning, remember it says there, ولا ومن لم يجد الماء ومسافر أو خارج مصر. If in your mind, with regards to 1 Islamic mile, which is about 1.8 kilometers around here, there's no water, then you can make tayammum. So that is where in his mind telling there's no water, right? So then he can make tayammum. But yeah, this is now the scenario where his mind says there is water. You know what I'm saying? That so when his mind tell him for 1.8 kilometers no water around you, you can go away and make tayammum. That's that scenario. So don't confuse with the scenario. This scenario is telling him there is water. What the scenario is telling him? There is water. And he's traveling in a convoy. So you will only have to see you only have to search for one ghalwa, which is about, you can say, 1/3 of here. Let me just, here's it in this kitab. Yeah, I'll just pull it out again here. Al ghalwa. A ghalwa, they say here, is 300 handspans, like this here. It's 300 handspans. And or they say a guz, like an arm's length. So 150 arm length. I must just check this up for you. Oh, yeah, yeah, okay, let me just see. I just want to, I want to just check exactly in meters how much it will be. I'll check it up and I'll get back to you tomorrow. So you only have to physically search for that amount, right? You don't have to go physically search. ولا يبلغ ميلا. Why? كي لا ينقطع عن رفقته. Because yeah, Sharia is saying that if you're going to search for a whole kilometer, or sorry, a whole 1.8 kilometers, by the time you come back, it is very likely that your companions has left. And normally in previous time, because of the danger on the road, bandits, robbers, wild animals, thirst, hunger, etc., people who travel in groups. So by the time you come back, they will be gone. And then you will be inconvenienced. And la yukallifu Allah nafsan. Ma ja'ala Allah lakum fi dini min haraj. That Allah Ta'ala don't make haraj. So you only have to search one ghalwa. Take it for the moment here, 150 meters, so to say. But I'll confirm that for tomorrow. Anyone carry on, read the next surah. قال وإذ كان معها في ماء فضله منه قبل أن يتيمم لأجل المنع غالبا فإن منعه منه فيمنع وصلى بتحقق العلم. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Interesting masla. Okay, so this masla, you can, if you understand the usul, you'll understand the masla. But this is referred to more in previous times when water was a very precious commodity. Now, with the big dams they build and the reservoirs and all that type of thing, uh, water is not like a very, very expensive commodity, right? But from the usul you can understand. It's like nowadays you just open a tap, you go any public place, you can get water, etc., etc. But if you understand the usul, you'll be able to apply it in today's circumstances. Well, in Ghana, say a person is traveling, right, and he's got no water with him, right? He only got enough drinking water. But in Ghana, but his companion has got extra water, like over and above drinking needs, right? طلب منه قبل أن يتيمم. He will, if you ask this person, brother, we only have enough water to drink. I see you got some extra water. Will you spare us some water? Obviously, there's no other water. There's no water around him, right? There's no water within 1.8 kilometers. So طلب منه قبل أن يتيمم. So you're traveling. Maybe this masa can also be relevant. One day you go bundu bashing, you go out to camping, or you're traveling, right? So you say طلب منه قبل أن يتيمم. You say that, can you spare me some water? Why? لعدم المنع غالبا. Why? Because generally, if somebody has got extra water, and somebody asks, okay, I need some water to make wudu, people won't stop you. I mean, a normal person, a sane person, not a stingy person. You know, in English, when a person very stingy, say, he won't give you ice in winter. A normal person, what will he do? He'll give you the water, right? لعدم المنع غالبا, right? But if you asked him, فإن منعه منه, he said, no, maaf, man, I can't give you. You must carry your own water. Why you want our water? يتيمم لتحقق العجز, for some reason easy. So then you can make tayammum. Why? Because we can see in reality now he's unable. He's faqidul ma. He doesn't have the ability for water. You heard me? It's not wajidul ma. It's faqidul ma. Right now, this person has water, right? But what this person done here? The person didn't have water. He went and made tayammum before even asked. Maybe shy. Sometimes you feel shy. ولو تيمم قبل الطلب أجزأه عند أبي حنيفة. So this person felt shy, he didn't want to ask. So according to Imam Hanifa, if he went ahead and he made tayammum without asking, so then his tayammum will be correct. ولو تيمم قبل الطلب أجزأه عند أبي حنيفة. Why? لأنه لا يلزمه الطلب من ملك الغير. Because this is the reason. Look here, in Islam, you not to accomplish something, you look at your resources, right? When you have to go for Hajj, do we see if you got the money or if somebody else got the money is going to loan you the money, right? Or even zakat, you have to pay zakat. Do you pay zakat on the money you have, or do you pay your zakat on the money somebody else have? So same thing, a condition for tayammum, condition for wudu, etc., is what water you have, right? Not what somebody else have, not what somebody else has. So we look at what is by you. So hence, you are not mukallaf. You are not mukallaf of asking somebody else. As he's saying, لأنه لا يلزمه الطلب من ملك الغير. صاحبين وقال لا يجزيه. No, it will not suffice him. He must ask. Why? What is the reason? Is the reason لأن الماء مبذول لأن الماء مبذول عادة. Because the reason is this here, that normally people, they, if they got extra water, they're not stingy with it. It's used. No, people give it to use. They're not stingy. And in today's day and age, actually, more so ever, when water is freely available, so you say the annal ma'a mabzulun, it's used. People share it. It's given with happiness, right? The annal ma'a mabzulun adatan, right? Now, ولو أبى أن يعطيه إلا بثمن مثلي. Okay, so nowadays people drink, they all that normal. Until a few years ago in South Africa, we had some of the best water in the world. If you were to travel through, if you travel to many countries of the world, you can't drink the water from the tap. But until 20 years ago, South Africa was one of the few countries in the world that you could drink the water directly from the tap. Do you know that? Did you know that? You never know that. If you travel Europe, you travel America, those places, even before, you can't drink the water from the tap because they feel, why must you spend so much water to purify the water when only a small percentage of the water will be drunk? Also, the water going to be water the fields, is going to be used in agriculture, etc., etc. But in the old past era, we one of the few countries where you could take the water directly from the tap and drink it. You didn't have to, but unfortunately, with the new dispensation, things went a bit down. But although our metro here, they still claim you can drink the water. They say there's nothing wrong with the water. Although people don't drink the water from the tap anymore. But anyway, that was one of the plus points of the old dispensation. You can drink the water. So let's just say that, like, example, somebody got some drinking water he bought. So you ask him, brother, I don't have water. Sister, I don't have water. Will you give me some water to make wudu? So he said, no problem. I'll give you, but I paid for this water here, right? Just give me what I paid for it, no problem. Walau aba ayu atiyahu. He refused to give it illa bi saman misi. And the price he's charging is the market related price. This is normally gets sold for this amount of money, right? And وَإِنَّهُ ثَمَنُهُ, and the person he has the money, la يُجْزِيهِ التَّيَمُّمُ. It will not be correct for him to make tayammum. That person is prepared to sell it with a market-related price, and you got the money. So there's no ijz. So you're not faqidul ma, you wajidul ma. What are you? You wajidul ma. لِتَحَقُّقِ الْقُدْرَةِ, because there is qudrat, right? ولا يلزمه, but they say ولا يلزم تحمل الخبر الفاحش. الخبر الفاحش means an extreme loss. It is not necessary for him to the tolerating so of an extreme loss. So تحمله is a مضاف, الخبر الفاحش is موصوف صفة become the مضاف إليه. So the tolerating of an extreme loss is not necessary. The tolerating of an extreme loss is not necessary. In other words, if this person is exorbitant with his price, it is not necessary for you to undertake. The Sharia doesn't tell you, no, you have to take this heavy loss. You just have to, if it's market related, then fine. But if it's beyond market related, then you don't have to tolerate that. Are you with me? لأن الضرورة مسكت, because the necessity drops it off. So, so this is لأن الضرر مسكت, because they're saying that, like how there's another principle you done in also fiqh, الحرج مدفوع. Difficulty, it is left out when you. So Shariat, whenever there's difficult in something, Shariat doesn't require to you endure the difficulty. So the haraj, the difficulty, you can say to pay extra, to pay an exorbitant price of the water. And this you'll understand from the context. Whatever the person is charging you, from the context, okay, there's a fair amount. It's nothing. Oh no, this guy's crazy, man. He's chasing. He's charging an exorbitant amount. Yeah. So here's a question: if he wants a market value of minimum, so let's take market value and just leave it up to the. If you let's take market value and minimum value to mean the context, wherever you are, the place you are in, you say, no, this is reasonable, then you have to, according to the state, you have to do it, right? But as I said, if it's an exorbitant amount, then you don't have to do it, right? Okay, so Alhamdulillah, with the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we've come to the end of the chapter of Tayammum. The Tayammum is also called dry ablution. Dry ablution means when you don't have water or you do have water and you don't have access to the water, then you are allowed to make the Tayammum. And we told you that you strike your head and then you just have to wipe those two limbs. So that's briefly the whole discussion. The next discussion is Babul Masi al Khufaini. So the relevance of bringing Babul Masi al Khufaini is quite obvious because Tayammum is also like a type of masa. You don't actually take the sand and rub it in your body. You just put your head on the side and you make masa over your whole. So in that sense of the word, you can say there is a relationship between Tayammum and masa. So both have they are linked in the sense that both is by taharat, by wiping, by touching, and also another thing is another commonality between the two is both are a substitute for washing. If you look at Yamum, is a substitute for washing your actual limbs, and if you look at Masal Khufain, it's also a substitute for washing your feet. Are you with me? So like in that sense, it is similar. And another similarity between the two is both are rukhsate muwaqqata. Rukhsat means azimat means the better thing to do. This is two terminologies you will come across also. Azimat means what? The better thing to do. And rukhsat means you are allowed to do it, but it's not the better thing. So look here, obviously wudu is better than tayammum because it's a taharat kamila. And obviously to wash your feet also properly and not to use a khuf. There's also the asal. And there's another principle in the Hanafi madhab also is called, that goes like al-ma'unatu ala qadri al-mashakka, that reward is in relation to the amount of difficulty you experience. So to wash your feet physically with water, while it is permissible to make masta al-khuffain, etc., etc., but to wash your feet is more, it's like how we say, it's more PT, it's more physical exercise. So there's more reward in that. Yeah, and yeah, you do this in G. It's better for you to take off. Once I met somebody, this he was better one sheikh. So he was telling me this sheikh of mine, he's such a pious person that he wears khuf all the time. He's practicing on the sunnah all the time. So I was just laughing in my mind. Yes, it is proven through the sunnah to wear khuf, but wearing khuf is not more rewarding than washing your feet. Yes, it's a sunnah. So not when we say it's a sunnah, we mean it's proven through the sunnah. But anyway, as we go through this through the sabak, yeah, we'll discuss a bit more about this. It is proven through the sunnah, but it doesn't mean it's more rewarding than washing your feet. Because I told you, al ma'unatu ala qadri al-mashakka. There are many masal. Inshallah, when if you do the iftar course, you'll do all this qawaid. I'll give you another example. See, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he made a hajj, he sat on his conveyance. But we tell you in the Hanafi madhab, we say walking Hajj is more rewarding. Walking Hajj is more rewarding than sitting on a conveyance. So now you tell me, no, but Nabi Sallallahu said on a conveyance. It's sunnah to sit on a conveyance, etc. We'll tell you, look, Nabi Sallallahu sat on a conveyance because he was a qudwa, he was a leader. People needed to see him. But to walk and make Hajj, al-ma'unat wala qadr al-mashakka, there's more effort. So there's more reward in walking and making Hajj. And so I'm saying, so by taking off your hoofs and washing your feet properly, wash your tongue toner, wash it properly, then there's more reward in that, right? So al-ma'unat ala qadr al-mashakka. So the point was, yeah. So I'll tell you, that guy say, yo, the sheikh, he's so good, he's so pious, he's very good all the time, but you don't understand that that's when don't have understanding of the Islamic knowledge. Anyway, what was the last point I was making? So why did he bring tayammum before masal khufain? If you look at tayammum, you're making of your two limbs masa, and here you're making tayammum of only one. You're making masa of only one limb, and that is your feet. That's your feet, right? And then also the other thing is this here. If you look at tayammum, it is also proven from the Quran. And mas al khufain is proven more from the Sunnah. It's not proven from the Quran, right? And then also tayammum it is more encompassing. Remember we done this here. Tayammum you can make from hadith asghar and hadith akbar, but you can't make masal khufain from hadith akbar. The only way you can make tayammum is maybe you have to go into the shower upside down. You wanna wear your khufs and you stay on the shower. You have to stand in the shower on your hands. Otherwise, you go to your khufs are gonna get completely wet. So if you go in the shower, you stand on your hands, you wash your whole body, and you keep your feet off the shower. Not possible. So in that sense, you can say tayammum is stronger also. That is why it was brought before. You understood that? So tayammum suffices for both Hadath Akbar and Hadath Asghar, whilst Masal Khuffain only suffices for Hadath Asghar, right? Okay, time is up. We'll continue tomorrow. Today's what? Thursday. Okay. Okay.